on, world? What's going on, man? It's your boy Brooke Acosta, and I want to invite everybody to the first episode of What If. Now, What If is nothing original, so I just want to let you know now. I stole this concept. You gotta turn it down, B. I stole this concept from Marvel. And I think that it's a great idea what Marvel is doing. Let me just preface this, is that they're taking their universe and they're taking scenarios and say, what if this happened, as opposed to what we know happened? And so with this, I wanted to kind of put it in our universe because we're all music lovers here. Everybody here is a music fan, right? So with that being said, I wanted to think of things that would be a what if for us. So tonight I want to introduce a few of my co-hosts, some real dudes that I deal with. You know, first off, I want to shout out to the brother Mark X, Nina, everybody at Rebel Squad Radio. Y'all know what it is. But the first guest I want to introduce tonight is my brother, 20 years plus, Mr. Edson Legier. What's up, bro?
What's good? What's good?
What's good? Second is my co-defendant, my partner in crime. You already know, Mr. HGM himself, Nito Brown. What's up? What up? And thirdly is the newest member of the Bad Boy team, and he gonna bring this nigga Puff Mad more cream. So with that being said, we got my man Brandy George on there. You feel what I'm saying?
He did it, you know. He did it.
Word up. So, hey Ed, man, this was sort of like a little child that we kind of put into the world, man. Cause you gassed me up, and I've been watching you talk about the what if shit. So I was like, yo, I started watching it. And then we came up with this idea, posted up on Facebook. Jason put the battery in our back, and now we're here. Yeah. So, you know, I'm gonna let you go tonight off the first what if. Give us a what if, yo. Give me one, Ed.
Wait, are we doing the ones? What are the one that you posted or?
Okay, all right. I was giving this nigga a chance, but you gotta get the layup, nigga. The layup was you supposed to just say, all right, boom. Okay, that was like the alley. And you like, bang off the back of the rim. But he learned.
I'm new to this video stuff.
He's new to this. So the first scenario, or what if, it deals with one of music's, I would say, premier families, okay? We're talking about, when you talk about musical families, as far as in the Black world, Black music, or even in all music, right? There's no other family. When you say the family, it's the Jacksons. You feel me? Ain't no other family. Ain't no Osmonds.
No way.
Ain't no fucking the Haleys. I'm sorry, Casey and JoJo.
Not even the Cosby's.
Not even the Cosby. There is one premier family in music, and both the king and queen of pop come from them, Michael and Janet. And we know that, you know, from watching his stories, and we know that Joe Jackson was not having none of the bullshit. Joe Jackson was breaking his foot off in their ass, right? He was busting their ass. And that's why Michael Jackson became what he is today, the legend, the king of pop. But what if Tito Jackson was the star and had the talent of the Jackson family? Talk to me, yo. Talk to me, BB. What if Tito was the nigga in the front? Like, he was brown skinned, but he was a little chubby though. Like, he
Then Tito played the guitar, right?
Yeah, Tito.
So what if he was playing the guitar, dancing, moonwalking, and had the diamond out?
Oh.
Would that be dope?
Oh.
With the guitar.
So you mean like
some Elvis, Black Elvis, Jackson 5.
They always like insecure about their nose, right?
They was all insecure about their nose.
And what if he say black? No bleaching, none of that.
But no, let's just stick to little Tito. Let's just stick to little Tito. Edson, what you think, yo? Can you imagine little Tito in the front kind of chubby and shit. Remember Tito was a little
Yeah,
chubby.
exactly.
He's a
Yeah.
little short. He kind of looked like you. Go ahead.
Nah,
You a
I
little
mean, yo,
Tito-esque nigga without the fro. What you
Without
think, Angel? Talk to me.
I don't know. For me, it'll be a little bit different because Michael, he was the young. Well, not he was like the youngest. He had the look
At
to
that
him.
time, he was the youngest. He's
Youngest,
before
right.
Marlon.
Marlon, right? So he had the look to him. Tito, he was older, like you said. His look was a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It might not have translated. I don't know.
Here's my thing. I'm gonna tell you where B had a point though. In his 60s, imagine if Tito was sick with that motherfucking guitar.
Splitting and shit.
I mean, he's sick with that shit. He on some. He,
No, but you can't say that because
because
you was switching because he was gonna be Mike, so he wouldn't have a guitar.
but no, what if Joe let that nigga be up front with the guitar? Mike, Randy, and motherfucking.
See, but now,
and
now you editing on a what if.
What?
You said, what if he would have had a guitar? Like, come on.
No, Tito had the guitar. That was Tito's shit.
But if you said, what if he was Michael Jackson? What do you mean?
No. What if he was the front man?
So we saying
Without the guitar?
So we saying Mike was the youngest.
Right.
He
Correct.
had the moves without the
But what
guitar.
if
Right,
Tito was
right,
just
so-
doing the
so-
Tito shit with the guitar?
So like Joe Jackson would have been pushing him to the front instead of Michael. So Michael would have had to be in the back doing the dances with Jermaine and them,
Yeah.
and Tito would have been the one out in the front.
You think Mike? Go ahead.
I think Jermaine would have been the closest to being Mike.
What if Barry?
But Jermaine, bitches like Jermaine.
Yeah.
I never heard a bitch say, "I can't wait to get that Tito Jackson bitch."
Yeah.
I think- Take the bitter with the sweet. Easy come, easy go. Every nigga know that. Every nigga know that.
All right, what's the next? Oh, my bad.
Let's get serious. But so you got Tito in the front, right? Now, mind you, Tito, the Jacksons was like, put it like this: we had a lot of shit to watch in our era, right? We had
Yeah.
No Edition, we had Run DMC, we had a bunch of other niggas. Imagine though in the 70s, it wasn't no other young niggas doing nothing but the Jacksons. Do you think they would have rose to iconic status with Tito in the front? Like bitches, you think bitches would have been wanting to fuck Tito?
But you know what I'm thinking too, because if you look at like how it was with Michael did that first song, that was that Smokey Robinson joint, and like his voice, everything. Like now we trying to say like, what if they put all that stuff in Tito's hands? Tito doing that Smokey Robinson song, like.
What if Tito had did a Jimi Hendrix record? Because Tito was nasty with the. What if Tito had just been that nigga that, you know what I mean? The whole dynamics, they wouldn't have had to dance. I ain't never seen no nigga lead a band with a guitar that dance.
Nah.
They probably wouldn't have needed them niggas.
Right.
What if Latoya was Janet?
Latoya looked good, but she ain't had Janet. Janet grew up with us. We seen her get ironed out, literally.
Yeah.
Her mother was. Her mother ironed out. Her mother would iron out their problems. Rebe had that one hit. Everybody in Jackson, yo, Joe and Motown gave everybody one shot.
2100
Jackson Street. But listen, now mind you, let's say Mike wasn't in the front. He wouldn't have, you think he would have had a childhood?
No.
Nah, because he was still part of the family.
But all them other niggas is adjusted. All them other niggas is adjusted. Imagine Mike not being a star. This nigga like 5'4".
You can't imagine it.
He's in the background.
But they all still had, because all of them had surgery. Like they all still had some of the mental stuff. All of them still, every one of them had surgery. Every one of them, like they all kind of started to try to morph into Michael.
Yeah.
At one point, like you know what I'm saying, they started changing their noses. They started doing all like little
shit. I never thought about that.
Jermaine was the first one.
Well, they said
Jermaine
was like
was older. Jermaine was older. Jermaine was fucking with a lot. Jermaine was fucking with a lot of industry. Like
Jermaine was out there getting that pussy.
was
I don't know though. I don't know.
The thugged out version
he
of
was
Michael
the
Jackson.
first one with the plastic surgery. He turned over no more.
But see, I don't know because Jermaine had a black wife. Shout out to Hazel Berry. Mike floating around Studio 54 with Tatum O'Neal. He hanging out with Stephanie Mills. He sniffing coke. He wearing bell bottoms and shit.
Take Tito right?
One of them niggas is fucking, you know the Jacksons is nasty motherfuckers. Imagine what kind of jacket motherfucking Tito would have wore. Mike had the zipper. Tito was not a fashion icon.
No, he wasn't. But
He
then
was the
again,
nigga that-
all of them back then, they had the different fit. Like I remember one album cover, they had, I guess they were supposed to be like clouds or something. So one had the gray joint, the other one he had the
Yeah, he
blue
said, no, that ain't the Can You Feel It? That's Going Places. Going Places, where they buy a car and shit.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they was doing different stuff with the fits anyway. I don't know if like, only to me, once they started getting older and Michael kind of started pulling away, then like you see like the fashion really start coming in. I think they just was kind of going with the times, especially most of the time, all they fits was the same because they was, you know, in the group. So everybody had to.
Imagine being a 30-year-old nigga having to dress like another 30-year-old nigga.
And they did it to when they went to be just the Jacksons, when it wasn't even 5 anymore, and they was feeling it.
Oh,
you know
shit.
what I'm saying? With rainbows coming out their hands and stuff, and still was like kind of dressing like each other.
I just can't see.
I mean, once he did that moonwalk, it was over after that.
You think that's what separated Mike from all them
What
niggas?
was that? Anniversary show? Or?
The Motown shit.
Yeah, the Motown.
I think
Tito would have looked sloppy as hell doing that moonwalk. Imagine Tito fat ass trying to do the moonwalk. His stomach would have been. Yo, but now let me not diss Tito. The only reason I brought Tito up is because Tito, to me, is the most unsung Jackson.
Mhm.
Marlon had a record deal, nigga. Marlon, remember when Marlon came out? Nobody listened. Randy was never a Jackson, nigga. Randy was not a fucking Jackson. Randy was like a fucking background dancer, nigga.
Randy had to replace Mike and nobody give a fuck about Randy.
Nobody, yo, that might be the most fucked up job that ever had is being Randy Jackson, nigga. I think the other Randy get more respect than the first Randy. I think the Randy from American Idol get way more respect than Randy Jackson.
Y'all get more.
That's a fact, nigga. Yo, nobody gives a fuck about Randy. Imagine you in the club and you talking to a bitch and you Randy Jackson. Oh, they like his, like, where's Mike? They start running out every brother but you. They get to Tito, they like, yo, shit, where the fuck is Tito?
You got the curls, but are you a Jackson? Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, his curl, yo, that nigga didn't have a fro. Look, if you a Jackson member and you didn't have a fro, I don't put you with the clan. He hopped out with a Jerry curl from the rip. That nigga had a curl
From the rip.
from the rip. The first time I seen him, his shit was so glowing.
That was fucked up. The shit Mike hit out of fire.
Oh my God, when Mike hit, yo, when we were kids, when Michael Jackson head caught on fire, yo, we was a little hating and happy. Niggas was a little happy though. They in their heart, they was a little like, that's what you get, nigga, for dancing all the time. This shit. Like niggas is hating.
Yo, that was crazy. That was crazy because his hair really looked crunchy after that for a while.
Oh. My head
I
looked
was sad as hell when Mike hair going.
You know how you heat Chinese food up in the styrofoam, and that shit be melting. You heat it up way too hot, and you think that shit it be leaning on your food. Yo, the funniest shit I ever saw is that Jackson movie, and when my head caught on fire, he was like, "Oh my head," and then he fell down them steps, nigga. The best Mike. The best Mike was that nigga from that movie, yo. The best Mike was that nigga from the Jackson. Shout out to Angela Bassett who played everybody's mother. I don't want you no more, Joseph.
Shout out to my kids who watched that when they was little. They watched that.
Yeah, nigga.
For 5 years straight.
I love that Jackson shit. Shout out to Jason Weaver who was Lil Mike.
Who's Lil Mike. And you know what's funny? Because I was just thinking about Angela Bassett earlier because I thought we was going to do the, you know, the Ike thing.
We
So
are, nigga. We warming up.
In my mind, that's what I was thinking about. So in my head, I was like, yo, Angela Bassett played a lot of moms, yo, like through her career, like, yo, like from, like you said, Mike's mom. I was like, damn, she even just played T'Challa's mom. Like she just,
everybody. Yo, we might have to have a mom battle between her.
After Tina role, she went to the mom role after that.
She went to every strong black woman role. They went to Betty Shabazz. Don't forget she was Betty Shabazz.
Yeah.
Don't forget Betty, T'Challa mama. She motherfucking got her ass whooped by Ike. She was Michael Jackson mother. Listen, yo, let me tell you something.
Biggie mother.
She wasn't Biggie mother, nigga.
She was Biggie mother.
No, was she Biggie mother?
Biggie mother.
No, she wasn't. No, she was. Yo. Angela Bassett was not Biggie.
Yes, she definitely wasn't. Yes, she was.
No, she was not. Somebody, I'm gonna need somebody to Google who. Maul, come in. Maul, you on mute. Maul. Unmute yourself.
Listen. Angela Bassett was Biggie mother. What's going on with you, bro? What's going on with you? Angela Bassett moms, B. She was everybody moms. She was Michael Jackson moms. She was Tina Turner. She was Biggie moms, fam.
Betty Shabazz, the Black Panther mother.
Word up. She's the only person that can play everybody moms.
I heard she about to play Lil Durk mother. About to play King Von mother. Don't go to the shy.
Yeah, you said she about to play King Von mom.
She about to play Lil Uzi Vert mother. Yo. So we're gonna reel back into our multiverse, this multi-nigga verse. And the question that started this was, what if Tina Turner never got beat by Ike? Now hear me out. 80% of Tina Turner's legend is her coming up from the Ike ass whooping. Am I correct, y'all?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So what if Ike was like Will Smith, right? He let her get all the dick she wanted. He let niggas nut in her bush, right? He never put hands on her. And she was just a stable black woman.
Let me get first crack at that.
Go ahead, Paul. Take it over. Hit System LLC.
So I'm gonna keep it 100. If Tina was just Tina without the beat down, and we just know her as the artist, first of all, we would be like, she can't sing for shit. That's off rip.
That's a fact.
That's off rip, right? We'd be like, we'd be like, because realistically, real talk, we say the same thing about Mary, but Mary got singing lessons. She got money. She got money now.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Like, you feel me? Mary got money now. She got singing lessons. So over time, Tina would have became Mary in terms of where she is now. She'd be performing. She would have probably took that residency in Vegas where she performing for like 5 years, getting like 100 million, like Whitney, one of them big deals.
Hold on, sir. You're putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
Because, mind you, no Ike. There is no breakup. There's no what's love got to do with it. There's no private dancer. There's no, we don't need another hero.
All right, so
I think we would have had a family of Turners killing the music industry.
Oh, I could see Ike kids really being with him and learning that music from Ike, because they say Ike was a genius with that music.
Yo, he was like, the Ike and Tina review, like all the stuff, like, like basically, like she was the performer, But Ike did everything else. He played almost all the instruments. He did the arranging. He set up the shows. He like it was without Ike, it kind of wouldn't have been what it was. And a lot of people saying that's kind of how he was with a lot of his chicks. Not before he met
Not just
Tina.
right. Facts.
I ain't new to beating no ass. I've been practicing them ass whoopings for years.
He was putting hands on chicks for a while. So by the time it came to Tina, he was like, he was nice with it, like in the memes.
I look like he eat okra every day.
What happened was Anna Mae came through. She was thick as hell.
And
she had a little
goofy and young.
Right.
Yeah.
And he, you know what I mean? And she had a little something he could work with.
They passed the domestic violence law in 1920. So figured he had that shit in him. So
Ike was born to whoop ass. You know what I'm saying? That rapper was like, I was born to rock stages. That nigga was born to slap faces. That nigga, he was a baby slapping the nurses and she's like, where, bitch? Slapping the bottle out, bitch. But back to Maul's point, I don't think Tina was ever looked at as a soul singer. I think Tina was always looked at as a rock singer. She was never finesse. Like she never had them runs like a Aretha Franklin. She never was outrageous vocally like Patty, but she was a rocker. She sung that rock and roll shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't get me to lying, but I want to say Tina Turner might be the second. She in the top 5 women that ever get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Okay. So what would she would have been classified today though?
She would have been
pop rock.
She would have been rock.
No, you know what? And really, when you say like you saying that, like even with Ike, when they talk about him, like they like in the innovations and the different things that he did, they talk about it like from a rock perspective, like like he innovated rock and roll, like probably like the only other person I was like looking at, they was talking about like was like Chuck Berry, but behind Chuck Berry, they was like, like Ike like have revolutionized the whole concept of rock and roll. And when you think about it, like Big Wheels Keep on Turning and stuff like that, the cadence of the way it sounded had a kind of rock feel to it. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. I definitely agree.
It definitely had a bluesy, earthy rock to it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I listen to a lot of the rock now, what I think that Ike and Tina would have been the black version of Fleetwood Mac. And if you know anything about Fleetwood Mac,
all the infighting, all the
right. Well, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. I could see Ike and Tina being one of the only black groups today still touring. When you look at black rock, when you look at black acts now, they tour, but they like Chitlin Circuit niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like the OJs, them niggas be on the cruises and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I could see Ike and Tina still doing arenas where black people don't do that. They probably would have pushed the envelope for rock for black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, would she be as empowering though as she is today? Because she is like an icon for domestic violence. That whole thing, like, you don't get what's love got to do with it without Ike beating her ass.
Yeah. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. You definitely don't get. We don't need another hero from Ike. You know, beating her ass.
She definitely would be, yeah. Because to be honest, there is no queen of rock and roll right now.
Queen of rock and roll.
You might could say Bonnie Raitt, but Bonnie ain't put out shit in about 40 years. The girls from Heart, they ain't put out shit for years. Who, if you talk about a queen of rock, who would you say?
That's what maybe Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks.
And that's back to Fleetwood Mac.
Stevie Nicks.
That's back
Definitely.
to Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The Girls from Heart.
Yeah. No,
Oh
like
no.
Nah. So
Barracuda.
Tina would have
Would have
had
had that
lane
lane
to
to
herself.
herself. Cher, Madonna.
Nito,
Cher
what up?
Madonna's pop acts. We talk about bitches that get that guitar and their voice sound like shit. They be like, I'm gonna love you like a rock. Oh, like a rock. We need, you know
Damn,
what I'm saying?
what's her name that you what's her name from 4 Non Blondes would have been up there too. Lead singer from 4 Non Blondes.
Oh.
Natalie Merchant.
Yeah. Hey, she do all that. She writes songs too
Hold
for these
on.
cats.
I got it. Alanis Morissette. Don't debate me. Don't debate me. Alanis Morissette is the queen of rock.
First of all, Jagged Little Pill is the greatest.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We might have
You
to
know
have
what I
an
mean?
argument. I think we might have to have a conversation about Jagged Little Pill versus the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Nah. We're not gonna do that. We could do something with Madonna. We could
I'm
do something
talking.
with Madonna.
If we talking about the greatest albums of the 90s by a female, there is no greater album than Jagged Little Pill and The Miseducation. Both of them are diamond. Both of them changed the game. Both of them won album of the year. Both of them racked up album song of the year. 90s. Nobody was bigger than them two. So we're gonna talk about the greatest female albums. I think we might have to have a conversation next week, sidebar, about the greatest female albums in music history. Because I got 10 that's gonna blow your fucking mind.
I got 10. I got 10.
And Carole King Tapestry is gonna be in the top 10. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me, bro.
I got 10. But I definitely say that those two that you mentioned is by far they gotta go in that. They gotta, especially man.
So
And you put
So listen, man, I want to wrap up our first inaugural episode of What If. I want to thank my guests tonight, Mr. Brandon George, Nito HGM Brown, Edson Legier, and Mr. Jamal, the Hit System LLC. Right. So you know what we're going to do, man. Next week, we're going to have another topic. We're going to have some more music. And you know what we're talking about, man. You fuck around since we sipping, you might get another pod tonight. So I'm Brooke Acosta signing off. You know what it is. Beats, Bars, and Combo. Brooks Basement Edition. Niggers 1.